Alright, let's take a look at every Premier League manager and see what their best ever signing was. Unai Emery, Kylian Mbappe. Okay, let's be honest. Unai Emery had nothing to do with this transfer, as I'm sure he was told to sit in the corner whenever the PSG chiefs wanted a player, but hey, I'm counting it anyway. Emery was at PSG when the club shelled out over 300 million quid for both Neymar and Kylian Mbappe in the same goddamn summer. Yes, it was the type of transfer fee that would break your face, but hey, Mbappe could easily have let the pressure get to him and turned out to be the worst transfer since money was invented. But no, he's instead turned out to be nothing short of a goal machine in Paris, even upstaging Neymar. Absolutely world-class signing. Dean Smith, Tyrone Mings. When Dean Smith arrived at Aston Villa nearly a year ago, the club couldn't defend for love nor money. For Christ's sake, they were allowing Preston North End to score 3 goals at Villa Park. The fans could only watch on in horror as they watched Nottingham Forest, coached by the insufferably pragmatic Aider Korenka, score 5 against them on their own patch. Over the Christmas period, Villa were conceding 15 goals across 7 matches. Something needed to be done or promotion would be a pipe dream. Their defence was essentially made of cardboard. In came Tyrone Mings on loan from Bournemouth, and yeah, he started his Villa career by doing what he does best, trying to turn heads into smashed pumpkins, but the defence was shored up, the club went on a 10-game winning streak and went up through the playoffs. Mings has gone from national pariah and a world-class stampaholic to England call-ups. Great signing. Eddie Howe, Callum Wilson. Another England international, Callum Wilson was recently linked with a move to Chelsea for upwards of 70 million quid. Absolutely insane. Eddie Howe snapped him up from Coventry in League One 5 years ago for just 3 million. Yes, there's been injuries, but there's also been a 20-goal season which got them promoted and a 15-goal season last year. Not bad for 3 million quid. Sean Dyche, Ashley Barnes. Yes, the man might have a grapefruit lodged in his trachea, but there is no doubting Sean Dyche has an eye for talent, having made a bunch of shrewd signings over the years. Ashley Barnes is another one, snapped up for a pittance from the Brighton bench in January 2014. Yeah, it took the lad a while to get going at Burnley, and apart from almost snapping the Nemanja Matic's leg in two, a crime which Jose Mourinho was practically demanding a prison sentence for, he didn't look up to much for a long time. Since 2017, he scored 27 goals for the club, including some absolutely world-class strikes, and he even found himself linked with Chelsea to play for a bunch of fans who previously wanted him dead. Graham Potter, Bertrand Chalina. Okay, I can't be arsed to trawl through Graham Potter's history of signings out the backers of Sweden, so let's just say Bertrand Chalina. Drafted in at Swansea in July 2018, a £3 million arrival from Man City, he went on to score 5 goals in 36 games, including one against his former club in an FA Cup quarter-final. Let's just ignore that penalty against West Brom. Arguably one of the most pitiful things I've ever seen. Frank Lampard, Fikayo Tomori. Okay, let's be honest, Frank Lampard's transfer record in his brief managerial career is very impressive. Last season he dragged both Mason Mount and Harry Wilson to Derby County, both on loan. But I'll go for Fikayo Tomori, another loan signing from Chelsea who went on to play 55 times last season and scooped the club's Player of the Season award. Roy Hodgson, Yuri Djorkaeff. Okay, Roy Hodgson has signed about 100 players in a managerial career that no doubt started during the goddamn Stone Age, so Yuri Djorkaeff should feel honoured to make this list as his greatest ever signing. I almost went with Bobby Zamora. But back in 1996, Roy Hodgson was managing Inter Milan, snapped up Yuri Djorkaeff from PSG, he'd go on to score 39 goals in 3 seasons at the San Siro, win the UEFA Cup, and end up a World Cup winner with France. Yes, he might have a name that sounds like MJ's favourite pastime in the Netherlands Ranch, but Djorkaeff was a great signing. Marco Silva, Richarlison. Marco Silva must have some kind of weird obsession with Richarlison because he's already signed him twice. He's been a good player for Everton, but you would expect so for £40 million. I'll go with when Silva signed him for Watford in the summer 2017, plucking him out of the Brazilian wilderness for just 11 million. I know he only scored 5 goals for Watford and his goals dried up massively after Christmas, but he still provided pace, width and a genuine threat not seen at Watford for God knows how long. Probably the most exciting Watford player since Ashley Young. Let's hope Richarlison goes on to have a long career for Brazil out on the wing and won't instead end up shunted out the left back at the age of 32, seen as nothing more than a nuisance by his own fans and living on a diet of pigeon dump. Brendan Rodgers, Scott Sinclair. Yes, I realise that Brendan Rodgers signed Daniel Sturridge, but no, I'm going to go all the way back to the summer 2010 here. Scott Sinclair was a £500,000 signing from Chelsea and yeah, paid Swansea City back with 27 goals in his debut season, including a hat-trick in the Championship playoff final as they became the first Welsh club to ever reach the Premier League. Jurgen Klopp, Robert Lewandowski. Yeah, I know most of you will be screaming for the names of Mo Salah or Virgil van Dijk, but let's not forget they were big money signings. You sort of expected them to be good. Robert Lewandowski, on the other hand, it was a £4 million signing from Lech Poznan in June 2010. The lad was one volcanic ash cloud away from signing for Blackburn Rovers, for Christ's sake. Did anybody expect him to score 103 goals in 187 games for Dortmund, winning 2 league titles, and scoring 4 in one match against Real Madrid to help Jurgen Klopp to his first Champions League final? Mental signing, absolutely mental. 4 million quid? Good God. Pep Guardiola, Robert Lewandowski. Yes, even the greatest can make mistakes. Swapping a treble-winning Samuel Eto'o out for an unsuited Zlatan Ibrahimovic was clearly a mistake, as was swapping out Joe Hart for a lad with wrists made of chocolate. But alright, let's take a look at his successes, of which there has been many. There were the arrivals of David Villa, 23 goals in his debut season, including a screamer against Manchester United in the Champions League final. Yeah, that was pretty good. There was the arrival of Javier Mascherano from Liverpool, who somehow turned out to be a Champions League winning defender. How about Gerard Piqué? Pinched from Manchester United for just £4 million. £4 million for a lad to go on to win 3 Champions Leagues? Insane. Absolutely insane. At Man City, the likes of Ederson, Leroy Sané, Gabriel Jesus, Ilkay Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Aymar Laporte and Kyle Walker have all been outstanding, but no. Instead, I'm going to be boring and choose Robert Lewandowski again. How could I not? The man was a free transfer. Dealing him away from Jurgen Klopp's Dortmund in June 2014 for less than a Freddo bar, Lewandowski went on to score 67 goals in his only 2 seasons under Pep, including 5 strikes in less than 9 minutes. And to think he cost less than Adam Lafondra. No, scratch that. He cost less than a pint. Absolutely incredible. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Sean Morrison. Yes, the likes of Harry Maguire, Daniel James and Aaron Wan-Bissaka might well turn out to be incredible signings, but it's early days. So let's go back to August 2014. When he signed Sean Morrison from Reading for £3 million. Yes, Ollie didn't stick around for too long at Cardiff after that, but hey, Morrison has gone to captain the club into the top flight, scooping the Player of the Year award along the way. Ollie didn't get much right at Cardiff, but this was definitely one of them. Steve Bruce, Darren Bent. Yes, Steve Bruce did sign the likes of Andrew Robertson and Harry Maguire at Hull City, so you might think he has an eye for a player. Then explain to me why he signed his son for nearly every one of his goddamn clubs. The only reason he's not dragging in poor Alex to Newcastle is probably because he knows how thin the ice he's skating on already is. If Alex Bruce pops up on the fence, Jesus Christ, Newcastle fans would probably be calling for Bruce to be skinned alive on the pitch. Since Robertson and Maguire both got relegated with Hull, I can't say them, so let's instead go for Darren Bent. A £16 million arrival from Spurs in August 2009, Bent went on to score 36 goals in 63 games for Sunderland under Steve Bruce, including one that went in off a balloon. Daniel Farke, Teemu Pukki. If Teemu Pukki keeps this Norwich team up, he's arguably the greatest free transfer of all time. This was a lad who'd failed in Scotland and then was released by Brøndby in Denmark. You'd be forgiven for assuming he'd be chewed up and spat out in England, but no. A free transfer in June 2018, he scored 30 goals as Norwich were promoted. He's already got 5 in his first 4 Premier League games. Chris Wilder, Enda Stevens. But yeah, why not put an Irishman in here? I'll bet Aston Villa have been kicking themselves at having ever let Enda Stevens go back in 2015. The former UCD left back was drafted in on a free transfer, swapping Portsmouth for Sheffield United. He's since played 98 games for the Blades, helping them into the Premier League and forcing his way into the Ireland squad. It's just a shame it took us until he was nearly 30 years of age to realise he was any good. Then again, a country is formed for that sort of thing. Ralph Hasenhüttl Naby Keita. Isn't it ironic that it was actually the current Southampton manager who first discovered Liverpool's most expensive midfielder of all time? You know, considering Anfield Chiefs have been spending the last few years using St Mary's as their own pick and mix. But yeah, Ralph Hasenhüttl snapped up Naby Keita from Red Bull Salzburg for RB Leipzig for £21 million in June 2016. He went on and scored the winner on his debut against Dortmund, was named in the league's team of the season and ended up being sold for a profit of £31 million. No wonder Ralph Hasenhüttl was then given a 4-year contract at the factory for future Reds. Mauricio Pochettino, Dele Alli. Listen, you don't know how close I was to picking Son Heung-min, but considering Dele Alli only cost Spurs £5 million when they stole a march on both Liverpool and Newcastle to sign him from MK Dons in February 2015, I have to go with him. Yes, he's had his critics and goals have dried up in the last couple of years, but still, 77 goals in 298 games, a Champions League final, 2 PFA Young Player of the Year awards, a Goal of the Season award, and making it into 2 PFA Team of the Seasons? All that for just $5 million. Quique Sanchez Flores, Diego Godin. Yeah, he's only been back in the door 2 minutes, but alright. Quique Sanchez Flores, his best ever signing? It was Diego Godin, or Diego Costa, one of the Diegos. I'll go for Godin, a $6.6 million signing for Atletico Madrid in August 2010. Godin, the former Villarreal defender, would end up making 389 appearances, being part of a rock-solid defence which ended up winning the league, 2 Europa Leagues, 3 Super Cups, a Copa del Rey. Oh, and he also made it to 2 Champions League finals against their City counterparts. He even scored in one of them. Manuel Pellegrini, Cristiano Ronaldo. Like Unai Emery, I'm guessing Manuel Pellegrini had absolutely nothing to do with Real Madrid's £80 million purchase of Cristiano Ronaldo. For Christ's sake, the club had been chasing Ronaldo long before Pellegrini was on their radar. They probably didn't even consult with him for his permission. He was only in the door 10 days before the bid for Ronaldo was accepted. But still, it counts, alright? Yes, it was big money, but 450 goals, 2 league titles, 4 Champions Leagues, yeah, worth every penny. Nuno Espirito Santo, João Moutinho. Nuno Espirito Santo has made some outstanding signings at Wolves. I'm gonna go with João Moutinho. For Christ's sake, this was a midfielder who once cost Monaco £40 million. He has over 100 caps for his country and a Euro 26 medal in his pocket. And there he was getting bought for just $5 million. The same amount of cash as was paid for Hazalou. 1/7 of Danny Drinkwater. Outstanding deal.